guys, so welcome back to another episode of the Property Sourcing Success Show. Keep in mind, this podcast, guys, is for active and aspiring property entrepreneurs who essentially want to start smart, scale, source powerfully, and build an income outside of their day-to-day job, outside of the 9 to 5, outside of the corporate world, and build an income with intention for a freer lifestyle. In today's episode, it's really short, but it's a really powerful one because we're deep diving into an absolutely crucial topic, which is how to approach your first meeting with a letting agent in your investment patch. So that we're going really specific here. And what I really need you to know, what I really need you to understand is this is not just about saying hello. This is not just about showing up with a coffee. Please, Lord Jesus, don't show up with a coffee. What this is about is leveraging their knowledge, earning their trust, and essentially planting the seed for future deal flow, whether that's for your own portfolio or whether that's for deals that you're going to source on to investor clients. So stick with us. If you're listening to this back, you'll probably want to take loads of notes. You will definitely listen to this episode more than one time, but here are the steps that I encourage you to take when you're having your first ever meeting / phone call with a letting agent in your investment patch. Step number 1, you're going to want to set yourself to win. So first things first here, before you even step foot into a letting agent's office, you have to prep yourself. So here's a checklist that I would use when it comes to dealing with letting agents and that first encounter. Checklist is: know what your investment strategy is. Are you looking for HMOs? Are you looking for buy-to-lets? Are you looking for serviced accommodation type units? Are you looking for corporate lets? Know what you're looking for, because 9 times out of 10, when people approach letting agents or estate agents, often they have a I'm not sure type vibe, and that's an immediate turn off to begin with. Anyone who is looking for everything and anything is almost someone who is looking for. So you have to know what your investment strategy is off the bat. I need you to have clarity on your patch, and I need you to have clarity on your budget. I've never been an estate agent, I've never been a letting agent, but I can totally resonate with the feeling of what that goes through your head when you're dealing with a potential buyer and they have no idea exactly where they're hoping to buy, and they don't really seem to have even a vague budget. So set yourself apart from the crowd. When you step over the door to that office, know your patch and know your budget. You also have to be honest about whether you're buying this for yourself or on behalf of partners. Would I ever use the word sourcing with an agent? Absolutely not. Would I flip it out and replace sourcing with portfolio building? Absolutely yes. But you have to be honest and you have to be upfront whether you're buying this for yourself, whether you run a portfolio building business, or if you're working with business / joint venture partners, or both. Be honest, be upfront. This goes without saying, but you'd be surprised how many people get this wrong. Dress smart. Don't dress like you've just done 7 days in the local prison. Please don't do that. Don't dress like you've just stole someone's car. Just don't be that person. Dress smart. Remember, you will never get a second chance to make a first impression. So dress smart, be respectful, and bring something that you can take notes on, whether it's a remarkable electronic notepad, whether it's a jotter, whether it's your iPad, whether it's your laptop. Bring something that you can take notes on. Remember, you're going to want to go in here and you're going to want to look professional. Going in like the one-man band, going in like Del Boy driving your yellow 3-wheeler, it's not going to land well. Treat this as a business-to-business style approach. Take a corporate approach with it, and you will be rewarded at the other end. You have to keep in mind here, guys, and this is just straight facts. Letting agents are the gatekeepers. They are the gatekeepers to the properties that you want access to, and they can smell a time waster 6 miles down the road. So I need you to show up sharp and I need you to show up prepared. Step 2 in the whole process is really where we come in strong and we look to build rapport. So you're there. If you've brought coffee, shame on you, but this is where it's go time. And I need you to start simple. Something along the lines of, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. I'm actively building my portfolio in this area, and I'm really interested in learning from local go-to experts like yourself. Now, what I will further go to add to that by saying your name came up in a conversation with a property colleague of mine a week or two ago, and it made sense for me to reach out to you because I've been told you know this area like the back of your hand. Your first impression sets the tone. You're not coming in with ego. In fact, what you are doing is stroking their ego. Bingo. So that first impression sets the tone. You're not coming in with an ego, and you're essentially positioning yourself as someone who is active. You're telling them, I am actively building my portfolio in the area. I am actively looking for opportunities in the area. And you're setting a tone of, yes, I'm active, I am respectful, but I'm also serious. So keep that in mind. First impression sets the tone. Don't. Step 3, and this is important. This is where you really want to position yourself with clarity. Next, what you want to do is you want to let them know what you do without overcomplicating it. And this is where so many people, because they over-explain and they try to use a lot of property jargon that they don't even understand, and they try to throw in a lot of fancy words. It's not a good idea. Here's the thing, and I say this time and time again, the confused mind never buys. So if the letting agent in question, does not understand what it is that you do or what you're looking for, it's an immediate light switch. It's off. They're not interested. Instead, I want you to try something like, look, I'm working with a small group of active investors who are focused on HMO and buy-to-let properties. I'm also planning or actively working on growing my own portfolio. And what I'm really keen to do is build real relationships with solid agents in the area. Your name came up in conversation as someone I should have a conversation with. Using that approach, we are keeping it clear, we are keeping it straightforward, and we're keeping it professional. And professional really is the key word here, guys. And I am a massive advocate of taking that corporate to corporate, business style, professional led approach. In my experience, it has paid me in dividends and spades by having that corporate approach, by having that professional approach, as opposed to the guy or the girl who's done a 2-day course, who's learned a few property buzzwords, has a little bit of property jargon, comes in and thinks they're going to be a property millionaire overnight. It never tends to land well with the agent. So we want to keep it clear, we want to keep it straightforward, and we want to keep it professional. Step 4, important. This is where I need you to ask strategic questions. This is your chance to get some gold. And what I really want you to do here is essentially use this moment to learn about the investment patch, about the gold mine area, and open the door to future deals. Some questions that you might ask could be questions along the lines of, what rental property types are in the highest demand for you right now? Are there streets or pockets or surrounding areas that have particularly strong yields? If so, where are they and why? Do you know of any landlords who might be looking to offload properties? What kind of issues do you see landlords run into here? What kind of problems are you seeing landlords voice to you at the moment? What's the current feel amongst landlords that you have on your books at the moment? If you had, I don't know, £100,000 to invest in this area, where would you buy? What would you buy? The goal here, guys, is to listen, not to pitch. And this is where so many people get it all wrong, because they turn it arse about face and they go in with a pitch as opposed to a listening technique. The goal is to listen. When you listen, they talk. And that is where the real value is. As is often said, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Use it in that ratio. Step 5, let them know that you are ready to move. So once you've built rapport and you've gathered insights, let them know that you're serious. That we don't need to pussyfoot around here. We don't need to beat about the bush. Let them know that you're serious. So if you come across landlords that you currently have active on your books and they're maybe looking to sell quickly, or if you have maybe off-market stock that is a headache for you to shift, I'd love to be someone you think of first. I am ready to move if the deal is right. So here, you're not pushy, you're just planting a seed. You're not pushy, you're just actively present. You're not trying to be the car salesman. You're just letting them know, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. When you're ready, I'd love to have a conversation. Step 6. This is where you're really going to want to wrap it up and follow through. So I want you to close out these conversations. I want you to close out these first time meetings or interactions and keeping it really conversational. So I would say something along the lines of, thanks again for your time. I would really love to stay in touch. If you don't mind, I'm going to drop you a follow-up email with my contact details and criteria. And then I actually do it. And again, this is where so many people fall into a black hole, because they will tell you that they will drop you a follow-up email with your contact details, but they don't do it. And the fortune is in the follow-up. Take that from me now and take it to the bank. And for every follow-up that you leave on the table without having actively followed up, there are 10 other people behind you who are more hungry, who are more driven, who are more ambitious. They are not more talented. They are not smarter. They are not, their skill set is not greater. They're just faster, and speed wins here. So I need you to actually follow up. What's important when you do follow up, what should you include? Well, that's pretty simple. Include a thank you. I want you to include a recap of your criteria, so what your investment strategy is and where it's based, and then your contact information and your buying position. Let them know, we have cash, we're ready to go. If you're buying with a mortgage, have your decision in principle, ready to go. Have your proof of funds, ready to go. And I actually add a little cherry on top by sending them across my solicitor's details, my conveyancer's details, to let them know I am not playing here. I am serious. And if you bring me opportunity that matches the criteria we spoke about today, I can act. Show, don't tell. Simple, effective, but memorable. Bonus tips for the win. We've definitely got bonus tips for the win. Be confident, but don't oversell. Like I said before, nobody likes a sleazy salesman. Easy for me to say, but nobody likes it, right? That's not what we're looking for you to do. Let the agent talk. And what they will do is they will show you the real lay of the land. There is nothing more unattractive or off-putting to an agent than someone who does not do their job but thinks that they know their job better than them. Here's the reality. A letting agent working to any capacity in a particular location knows that area better than you. So shut the and listen to them speak. If you have funding, if you are liquid, if you have money in the bank, or if you have investor backing, let them know. Let them know up front, I can buy. And most importantly, and this is really important, do what you say you're going to do always. Because the first time you set a foot wrong with an agent and you renege on something that you promised that you would do, you put an offer forward on a property, you get the sale agreed, and then you back out, it's game over. They will never do business with you again. Trust me, I know that to be true because I made that mistake in the early days of my portfolio and property sourcing business. Don't f around. So that's it for today's episode, guys. As promised, it's short, it's sweet, but it's very, very tactical. Remember, everything that we talk about here on the Property Sourcing Success Show is designed to be actionable so that you can take it and implement it into your business today, tomorrow, and next week. So if you have your first letting agent meeting coming up, I hope this helps you walk in confident. I hope it helps you walk in clear and ready to make the most of it. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review. If this has been useful, I would love for you to let me know. In the meantime, I will catch you guys next week on another episode of the Property Sourcing Success Show.